Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Insert Slogan Here podcast, episode 15. I'm not Logan.
And I'm not Sam.
And this is the podcast where we talk about everything from vulgar language, controversial conversation, the very few innuendos that we get to put in there. Very subtle. And if you are, subject to being offended by those, just click that nice little red X in your top right-hand corner of your screen right now. For those that are still here, thank you very much. Christmas is over. I had a great Christmas. Logan, did you have a good Christmas?
I had a pretty good Christmas.
That's fucking awesome to hear. Chilling with family, having that family time. That's important. Take care of your loved ones. And we're going to hop right into the show with Logan's slogan of the week.
My slogan of the week is going to be, sometimes you must look beyond what you see to realize where you're going. And we're going to be talking a little bit about goals later, a little bit about an argument that I may or may not have gotten into on Christmas Day. But it is to come. Look
Sweet.
Beyond what you see to realize where you're going.
Oh, man. Knowledge. Bomb.
Taking a little bit from Lion King 1.5 there. for those Lion King 1.5 fans out there.
Dude, did you watch that? Do you remember, what happened in that movie? Like, the plot?
Yes.
Because I don't.
Almost the entire plot. That was Allie and I's first date.
Oh.
And my first date.
Okay, well, then, of course you would remember that, because that's
I fucking love that movie. Way better than Lion King 2. For those of you, if you remember Lion King 2, which I don't, because it's garbage, Lion King 1.5 is pretty good.
Okay, I'll have to watch Lion King 1.5. I'll put on my list of things to, watch in the new year. Speaking of the new year is right around the corner. And for this invading question, I wanted to talk about our New Year's resolution for 2018. Logan, what's your New Year's resolution for 2018?
Well, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I wanted to start up my channel and start up, putting out content. And I realized that I've put out absolutely zero content outside of this since then. So I think that consistently putting out content will be a nice goal for me for next year. Mainly because, I'll have a little bit of time and I'll be more focused going into the new year here.
What content are you specifically talking about?
Like my own solo channel, maybe some I guess you could call them vlogs. Not like a PDS show type of thing, but more like an Amazing Atheist type of thing. For those of you who've seen his content, he just puts out, political. They're not really speeches; they're conversations and arguments.
Oh,
and,
okay.
I like the idea.
Okay.
Throwing my hat in the ring.
Very nice.
It'll be fun.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that juicy content and just filling my brain with all this knowledge.
Oh my God.
That's what? Come on.
Dude, the pressure's already mounting. I'm gonna have to change my New Year's resolution.
Oh shit.
We'll figure it out.
My New Year's resolution, I think, is to get going just on my life. I feel like I've since starting my new job and jumping into the workforce and all that stuff, I've been kind of stalling and just trying to put one foot in front of the other without really knowing where I'm going. And I want to have a direction with where, this next year is headed. And I kind of already started with that, within the past week or so, I've been putting myself in a mental state to figure that out, write some goals down, what I want to do. And so similar to you, I want to do something with my life and get it going somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. I have a few ideas and I just need to narrow it down. That would be my New Year's resolution.
All right.
For 2018. But yeah. So yeah, let's jump into the maximum tilt. I have two things. I became tilted twice. The first one not so much. The second one, of course, I was just browsing Reddit and it popped up and I'm like, what the hell? Okay. So the first one, this recently made news that Roy Moore, one of the people in Alabama's U.S. Senate race, he lost to a Democrat called Doug Jones after some sexual assault and molestation allegations came out, and he lost handedly. He didn't withdraw or anything to Doug Jones. And then Roy Moore comes out and says, hey, he tries to challenge the is it the statement? I don't know how to say that. But he claims that there was a fraudulent election and it had been tampered with. And he's just like, yo, this isn't okay. and they just don't give a fuck. They're just like, okay, that's cool, Roy Moore. We're gonna go ahead and certify Doug Jones into his office and let him do his
Yeah.
thing now.
Good.
And I'm and I'm sitting there like, Roy, but just sit down. You need to sit down and think about what you've done. Okay, you dug yourself the deepest of graves. Okay, but seriously, you need to let it go.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't diddle 14-year-old girls when you're 30, and then it won't come back to haunt you when you run for senator. Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Maybe, just
maybe.
maybe,
So that
consequences for your actions
so
might
that
exist.
tilted me. It was more of a question. Like my thought process was like, okay, what that does not make sense. Yo, thanks for following the channel, dude. I'm sorry. I thought I turned notifications off. But thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. It didn't make sense to me at all. I'm like, you lost. Why are you trying to bring it up again?
It's like, all right, so I saw a couple tweets that are like to this effect, where people are like, Roy Moore, how could you do this? And oh, I'm so scared of a time where Donald Trump is going to lose an election,
Yeah.
and then he's never going to let it go. And it's like, bitch, you realize that we're in the middle of still thinking that Trump and Russia colluded?
Still.
Like, we're still in the middle of that. It's been a year, and there are people trying to delegitimize his whole presidential campaign. Like, everybody is at fault when it comes to this shit. So, like, everyone's got to get off their damn high horse and just realize, hey, take the L. I lost fair and square.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Yeah, yeah.
Get them next time, or in the case of Roy Moore, please don't get them anymore ever.
Low key though, I think both those cases are kind of different in a way because, well, they're similar and different in a way. One of the differences that I see is that like Roy Moore just fucking lost, just
right,
hands down. Like, you know, he lost. The other, like Trump and the Clinton, you know, thing, I think is ongoing just because he's president. You know, that's why I think it's still continuously being hammered away and being brought up.
Okay,
and I think until people actually realize that it's either, you know, just allegations and that's it, or B, they actually find some solid evidence and continue to dig, which it could be a long drawn out, you know, investigation, but I don't know, probably not. Life is going to go on and the world will continue to spin. So that's, yeah, I guess, but yeah, both are similar.
And I'll say this. So when once not President Donald Trump, when he did the whole birther movement,
yeah,
people thought it was just this huge conspiracy theory trying to get Obama kicked out of the office, and they thought he was ridiculous, and they were right. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Obama won that by playing that clip of Lion King at one of the dinners, which was absolutely hilarious. Great mic drop moment. Anyway, now people are doing the exact same thing to Trump. They're leading a movement which is going to last too long about something that's not going to have any evidence. And it's like, you know, maybe just drop it. Understand that he's the president. Let's get behind that, and let's, you know, look at what he's doing and look at what he is saying, as opposed to things that are all speculation at this point without evidence. I mean, beating a dead horse is just kind of frivolous at this point. Or Trump Russia.
At least keep the investigation under wraps. Don't broadcast it like, we got some new information, boys and girls, right here on CNN and BBC. Let's go. Like, oh, it's the same information we brought to you last week, just formatted differently. Like that, yes, yeah. I agree. Yes. So if they kept it on the down low, I wouldn't mind too much. But another story that super got me tilted. Oh my fucking god! So these parents apparently kept their daughter in a windowless room, which was separate from the house. Okay, so it didn't have any heat going to it for 15 years, at least 15 years. So when they found her body this past Saturday, she weighed 42 pounds. Which is about, you know, the average weight of a 4-year-old. I'm going off of fox4kc.com, which the link will be in the description, of course. The couple was arrested on Tuesday, and they still remain in police custody, and they claim that they confined their child because she was mentally ill and violent. Bruh. That makes no sense to me. If you think your kid is mentally ill and violent, you don't lock them in a goddamn room. One, that doesn't do anything. That's child neglect. Two, you're not getting them the help that they need, which could possibly turn them into a contributing civilian to society. You could do that.
Right.
For fuck's sake. So that really tilted me. Like, you literally ruined a kid's life for no fucking reason at all. Just because you thought, I hope there's more evidence on this story. Like, oh, she did this, and then, like, maybe maybe I'll be able to say, oh, okay, but there's still no excuse to lock your daughter in a room with no heat. God. Oh, and they also fed her at
Yeah, it
least
doesn't make
one meal.
sense.
They also fed her at least one meal a day. Okay, cool. But yeah, so that pissed me off. But yeah,
What good
that's
parenting? They fed their kid. What good?
like, yeah,
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
great. I looked up on the internet how to feed a child. Oh, one meal a day. Got it. Okay. Maybe it wasn't even warm food. Fucking assholes. But um yeah, so that just really tilted me. That story will be in the description if you'd like to read more about that. Logan,
Yeah,
what
if you want to
tilted
get
you?
really upset, if you want to get really upset heading into the new year, read that story. Jeez. So I was not to by this. I was actually quite happy. My follower count on Twitter doubled, so no big deal. I now have 3 followers instead of not kidding. I have 12 now instead of just 6.
Oh,
But in
fuck
any
yeah, dude.
case, so Neil deGrasse Tyson on Christmas, I believe it's Christmas Day. Uh, he tweeted, "Merry Christmas to the world's 2.5 billion Christians and to the remaining 5 billion people, including Muslims, atheists, Hindus, Buddhists, animists, and Jews. Happy Monday." To which Ben Shapiro replied, "Looking forward to your similarly multicultural Ramadan tweet." Uh, I read a guy's post on this thing, and it was quite stupid to say the least. He said that Ben Shapiro was pandering. I guess just to paraphrase, he's pandering to the Christian fundamentalists by just kissing their ass and showing that he's like their water boy. And there are a couple things that I found interesting about this. Is that I think Ben's right. I don't see a reason that you should have to define out the other people. Like, I understand that not all people celebrate Christmas, but you shouldn't have to point out the other 5 billion people because that doesn't happen in any other holiday ever. My point was, if I were to say Happy 4th of July, Americans, and to the rest of the world, hi, that would sound really stupid via Twitter. and
Yeah.
and I just got a number of people trying to shit on me for this thing. And eventually I got into this argument with a guy who whose claims to be, I don't know if it's real, but he is the editor or one of the editors of the DC Sentinel. Which, Sam, you looked up that newspaper, right? You said that it was that news site. You said
Yeah.
it was an interesting place.
Oh yeah, very interesting. I'll link their shit in the description below so you can check for yourself.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Because this guy has called me an asshole left and right and a piece of shit, dumbass, idiot, and I just kept pointing out things like it's kind of bigoted
Yeah.
to say that you know are unable to support other people's beliefs
Yep.
without holding your own. That's kind of bigoted. And the guy said that was a dumbass thing of me to say. I believe that a lot of these tweets have been deleted because I can't find them anymore. So I posted the definition of bigot, which is a person who's intolerant towards other people's opinions. That really worked because the guy pretty much left the chat there. In any case, uh,
Wait.
let's.
I think I'm looking up. Do you know the guy's name? I'm looking through your tweets right now.
I'm trying to find it.
I think his
Trying to find it.
I think his account got suspended.
Hot damn! Yeah,
Or
I don't see him here.
yeah, he either got suspended or he blocked you. I'm not exactly sure which one.
I'm guessing he blocked me. I'll take a gander, but my hope is he
Did he
blocked.
block
I think.
me? I don't think so.
Oh my god, this shit's funny. Anyway, so yeah, that was fun. He kept coming back to the point of, you know, Christmas runs our society. You idiot. You
Yeah,
dumbass. You
yeah, yeah.
dipshit. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
personal attacks on me all day. So that's why I think I won the exchange, and it was just really fun to have a little debate. Really spurred it on. I had it like during Christmas while I was at my family's house, and they're like, "Logan, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm in a Twitter debate right now." Like, why are you doing this? Do you know this person? It's like, no, it's just
No,
fun.
I have absolutely no idea.
My brother enjoyed reading the tweets. He enjoyed reading it live,
That's
so it
fucking
was
awesome.
pretty fun to do. So yeah, Merry Christmas all. And he was actually Jewish, so I wished him Happy Hanukkah a couple times as I was heading out because he's kept calling me a dipshit asshole. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that was just a bullshit. Like, I'm not exactly sure
I don't think he's a
because
troll.
no,
Like
no,
people are
no.
saying he's trolling or he's a troll. Or sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm not exactly sure. He just like I looked through his timeline when you texted me that, and so of course I do my internet scavenging and research by going through his Twitter feed, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like he wasn't. It wasn't like a good reporter. It was he was a hard left or hard right. I don't remember which one.
Super hard left.
Yeah, so like he was like oh man, you know, like the tallest, like most hardcore liberal ever, like on the left, like, you know, Democrats, and then there's like the hardcore liberals and hardcore Democrats. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
like the hardcore liberal that probably no one ever wanted to talk to in high school. That's probably him.
There you go.
At least like from his tweets, like he didn't seem to give any like true opinion about the other side. It was just very he was pandering very very fucking hard in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
And my favorite one that he said. So in the response to me defining what the word bigot means, he said, is that the conservative way to include neo Nazis in their in your side and in your arguments and make neo Nazism acceptable?" And I said, "No. If you look at what neo Nazis believe, it's clearly not acceptable. Things like that. So it's just a fun little debate, being able to disarm someone who's clearly, uh, I'll say, not objective. I'll say completely subjective in his opinions and not going to have his mind change anytime soon.
yeah.
One of the people that replied to it, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but like it was a moment of pride. Somebody said, "I'm a liberal and I was disappointed to read your side of the story." Like that one felt good. Like, it's somebody who does not agree with me who has to agree with me because the other person I'm debating with was so wrong. Like that is a good feeling
That is a
to
great
have.
fucking feeling. Yeah,
What?
his account got suspended. So if you do go to Logan's Twitter and you try to read the tweets, the conversation yourself, it's gonna be very one sided because Logan will be arguing with himself because the other person got banned.
I didn't
Fucking
report it.
bitch.
So I'd rather have people like that talking the whole time because it makes my arguments a lot better.
Oh yeah, it just makes them look so fucking stupid. So yeah, I think that's fucking gold, and
Oh god.
definitely a big pat on the back to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
You are so
Feels good.
so welcome, so welcome. So on the
All right.
lighter side of things, um, I mean, actually, okay. So here's what happened so far in the show. Great slogan, and then we dipped down hard with the tilt, and then we got brought back up with the tilt, and now we're gonna probably plateau because we got some good news here. Um, so I was browsing Reddit, of course, and I found this GIF of a player from the Columbia. I cannot pronounce their name. I can't. Chapasic. I can't do it. I can't. Can you do it?
Chepecoense?
Chapecoense. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Let's try it.
anywho,
But
their plane went down, and it was very tragic. I will link the description below, but that's not the point of me telling you this. Um, so one of the players from that team, he had a prosthetic leg, and this happened back in November. And so they were in a friendly match, and the guy was running up, and his teammate like kind of passed him the ball, and then the other team let that guy who had the prosthetic leg score the goal. I just thought that was really cool. You know,
yeah.
like you don't see that all the time, and then after he scores the goal, both teams come in and hug the guy and just give him congratulations and pat on the back, and everyone's smiling. Like that is good fucking sportsmanship, and it made my heart happy. You know. So if you want to read about the crash too, that'll be in the description below. And in better news, did you want to comment on?
Oh, it's just a horrible tragedy, and it's nice to have a little bit of silver lining coming out of it. That's
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Nailed it right
Gotta
on the
love
head.
those moments.
Yeah. On even better news than this, Mexico
Okay.
decides to expedite the cannabis legalization process that they're working on, and they say we'll see what actually happens here. That the patients in Mexico will be able to expect to have medical cannabis available in the first quarter of 2018. I'm a little hesitant, but they seem pretty positive about it. I just think it's cool that they're pushing that forward to get patients what they possibly can help them with epilepsy and other dermatological dermatological. God, that's such a weird word
Yeah.
to say. But yeah, like stuff like that. That weed and cannabis has been proven to help a lot with. So,
Or like cancer patients, helping
yeah,
with appetite, things like that. Yeah,
for sure.
there's a lot of benefit there.
So yeah, I was happy about that. I was like, hell yeah, Mexico, let's go. Moving on up,
Mm-hmm.
let's go. So yeah.
And speaking of moving on up, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to move on down because
Fuck.
apparently farmers markets are racist. Who knew?
Oh
So there
my.
were San Diego State University professors who claimed that farmers markets are normalizing white behavior because a lot of white people go to farmers markets. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, because if you flip that and you say, hey, a lot of black people go to blank, they're terrible. That is just, you'd be a super huge racist and
I
not
don't.
agree. Like,
Can you make no? Okay, I'm not. I'm not saying that like you're wrong with saying like that's racist. But can you make that comparison though? Can you
yeah,
draw
if I
that?
said, here's what I'll say: if I said a ton of black people went to farmers markets, markets are normalizing black people behavior. That's terrible.
Okay. Okay.
That's racist. That'd be super fucking racist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're
Like,
not wrong. You're not wrong there.
that'd be kind of like if you. The funny thing about half of racist stories out here is if you flipped it, it'd be the most racist thing ever for these people to say these things, where they call out racism where it clearly isn't. Like I've seen black people at a farmer's market before.
Whoa.
You know, black people like fresh food.
Whoa.
I understand that black people aren't supposed to like fruits or vegetables, but I mean, sometimes they do. So, you know,
That is,
it's
whatever.
just a good old story, a good old heartwarmer. And then another one. Apple admitted to slowing down phones. So as your phone gets older for Apple, people had this conspiracy that Apple was slowing down your phone so that you'd have to get the new one. It actually turns out that they were slowing down phones to assist with battery life, as your battery would die far too quick.
Yep.
If you notice that your battery's dying super fast, you either have to get it replaced or realize that the new iOS updates have been tampering with your performance so that you could keep that battery life up.
Mm-hmm.
But in the wake of this, in the wake of getting caught, they have lowered battery replacement costs.
Oh, thank
their apology.
fucking God. But that's such a pain in the ass too, because their batteries are not external. They're internal.
Right.
And I fucking hate that. Like my Nexus, I think your Samsung also is internal battery. Like they're all switching to that, which doesn't make
makes it damn near impossible to switch.
Yeah, it makes me like pissed off that we can't, if we want a new battery. Like back in the day, I had my Motorola Razr. I must have went through 3 different fucking batteries. That phone lasted me 2.5 to 3 years. Would have lasted me longer too if I didn't destroy the keypad, but that's another story. Yeah,
I'm thinking about Motorola Razr over here.
Dude,
got me happy.
Yeah, throwback, right? I
Throwback.
love those phones. I think I still have it actually. It's just it's like an old backup, like in case my Nexus dies or something, which it almost did. Holy shit! Speaking of batteries, I was at work today, right? Sorry, side note. We're talking about phones and stuff, but it kind of works out. And I plug my phone in, and it's a micro USB, not Type C or whatever, micro USB. And the Nexuses are known to have issues with the USB, like the micro USB, because it's open, like it doesn't have a port to cover it, and it wouldn't charge. And I was already at like 30%, so I was like, okay, well, fuck my Wi-Fi, and I'm not using my phone today at work. So I get back home today, and I put it on my wireless charger over here, and it's not charging. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, please don't tell me I have to get a new phone. I can't afford like a brand new phone right now, and I don't want to buy a new phone. I like my Nexus, it's fine. And so it dies, and then I turn it back on, put it back on the charger, and it's charging. So I don't know. I'm very concerned. Battery life is an issue in cell phones. Let's make some awareness, get some Twitter posts going, make some fake accounts, and we'll make some picket signs and walk up DC, okay? But yeah, that was my side story.
Well, I mean, I like the idea that they would taper the performance because they're looking out for your battery life. I like the idea.
Correct.
But you have to tell us that. That seems like something you'd want to tell your consumers so that they don't just find it out. But I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you there.
I guess I'm not a phone mogul. I wouldn't know too much. But I don't know.
But yeah, that was my interesting story for the most part. Yeah.
It is an interesting story. I mean, a lot of times I've had luck with, turning the phone off, turning it back on again, then plugging it back in. But I don't know why, and I'll never know why. I'm not that good with phones. But hopefully they understand, or the phone companies understand that, in order to replace a battery, it does become hell now that it's moved to the same vein of trying to change your watch battery. So hopefully it,
yeah, that's
or your Pokemon game internal battery.
Oh my God.
But
but yeah, speaking of technology, we'd like to thank Asus, and this episode was able to air this week to them. Thanks to them. Without their high-class monitors supporting gamers, tech gurus, and everyone else with our supreme gear to help with everyday needs, the world would be shittier. check out their latest Republic of Gamers Swift PG27UK oh fucking A, I messed it up. I have to start over. Check out their latest Republic of Gamers Swift PG27UQ monitor with 4K, Ultra HD, and G-Sync capabilities, along with 144 Hz refresh rate. Your non-existential, non-IRL life just got way better. Available at Amazon, Best Buy, and other exclusive online retailers today. Use ASUS-ISH. That's all caps, ASUS-ISH at checkout for 10% of the cost to go directly to Insert Slogan here, Incorporated.
Dude, that's a lot of money that's coming our way per thing.
Dude, I'm excited. These monitors are
Like
not cheap.
$900.
Yeah, they're not cheap. So we're getting that buttload of money. Oh my God, Logan. What was your favorite moment or memory from 2017?
This could sound really, really cliche and really sappy, but actually creating this podcast was my favorite memory of the year.
Okay.
I very much enjoy just having something that I'm creating and having someone to do it with. So it's been my pleasure, Sam.
Sweet, man.
And I got engaged last year too, so that kind of lost out.
Yeah, this was yeah, I mean the pleasure's all mine, man. I'm glad I just brought it up to you one day and you're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so here we are once again. If you had a beer in your hand, I'd say cheers. This episode is not brought to you by Coors Light, but look out for them in the future. Been hitting them up in the DMs. Message us back, Coors. But yeah, what's my favorite memory? Probably graduating college.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I would say graduating college, and number 2 would be getting a job and not living with my parents. Love my parents to death. If you ever watch this, which I hope you never do, I love them to death. But I'm glad I'm on my own and doing my own thing and starting my path in my own life. So, and then 3 would be starting this podcast because I love talking mad shit with you and getting triggered and all that fun stuff.
It is a good time. And speaking of getting triggered, BuzzFeed put out their annual "We Hate White People" article.
Yes.
This one is now titled 37 Things White People Need to Stop Ruining in 2018.
Oh my God.
So we're going to break this down.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll through these. I'm going to read out the thing.
Are we starting from number 1?
I'll start from number 1. I'll read off each of the things. I'll let you react a little bit. I'll react a little bit depending on the thing.
I'm looking at the page 2, just so you know.
Perfect. All right. Okay. So number 1 is macaroni and cheese. I'm calling bullshit.
Okay.
Macaroni and cheese is great. There's no way a white person could ruin it. I watched the video that they post with it. They're putting, vegetables in there.
I mean,
some of the better mac and cheeses have vegetables in it.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Let's be real here. When does mac and cheese become pasta? Become like real pasta? Like at what point do we say, okay, it's no longer mac and cheese. It's fucking pasta, So I don't see how in this. Oh, by the way, the link for this will be in the description, so you can follow along with the podcast, or you can listen to us describe all this bullshit. So yeah, like I don't see that here. I don't see it. So yeah, go on.
And like all of the shit that they show looks delicious. And if you think Paula Deen doesn't know how to make mac and cheese, you clearly don't know anything about food. Paula Deen obviously knows about mac and cheese. She's the comfort food person. So in any case, we'll move on. Protests.
Okay.
Mainly because Kylie Jenner is the worst, or Kendall Jenner is the worst at doing any ads. They've gotten accused of of stealing products this year a bunch of times, and the Pepsi thing. Yeah, she's bad at protests. Doesn't mean all white people are, and I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of people of both color within that protest. So
yeah, I mean, this is pretty ballsy of Pepsi. I'm gonna call bullshit on this too. Logan, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, you froze for a second. No, you're good. Yeah, this is pretty ballsy of Pepsi. And I don't see how. I don't think. No. Go on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's go to K-pop.
Okay.
Which, to be fair to K-pop, I did not know that there was a first K-pop group that was not Korean. Entirely non-Korean. It doesn't seem like K-pop, but what they do, make catchy electronic sounding music.
Okay.
So like a group of musicians. I think that K-pop, the genre They're
Yeah.
like genres of music, they just sound similar. It does not mean that all Koreans have to be making K-pop. Like a Korean person could easily make non-K-pop music. So I don't understand why the reverse isn't true.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna agree with you on this too. Like, I mean, K-pop is K-pop for a reason, but I guess that doesn't mean that they have to be exclusively Korean. Like,
so like if
yeah,
I put up 4 Japanese people in there and I show it to, most people and I said, "Hey, is this K-pop?" I bet they say yes.
because they're going off of the stereotype.
Right, if they're stereotyping
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying, "Oh, what makes K-pop K-pop is the sound, not the people doing it," then
Correct.
maybe
Correct. So yeah, it wouldn't
K-pop
even
can
matter.
survive despite the lack of Koreans.
Man, we got a long
Uh,
ways to go. This is gonna be a long episode.
all right.
Stick in here.
Sneaker culture.
Okay.
Everyone wears shoes. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna talk about this one. I think that sneaker culture is not limited to non-white people. But
Yeah.
you like shoes.
Oh, I
What do you
love.
think? You're
I.
racist. You can't like shoes. You white cis.
You white cisgendered fuck. Um, I. It's just a little preposterous to say, yeah, white people ruin sneaker culture. I mean, I'm not gonna say that we didn't, but I don't see an
Right.
issue with it. Like,
And I don't see like the issue with this whole article is it's not just one race of people. And if you flipped it and said 37 things black people have to stop destroying or whatever, that's super racist. Like it's just,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a kind of it's a two-way street here. Both things can be racist.
that's fair. That's fair.
But it's just kind of silly to say that, white people some white people have incredible sneaker game. Just because you pick the situations where some people are terrible at, their sneaker game is not on point. Like
Yeah,
if you pick me for sneaker game, yeah, I'm ruining sneaker culture
yeah,
because I
yeah,
have awful choice in shoes.
yeah, yeah.
But
But I mean, but that's you though. That's what makes
right,
Logan Logan. Period.
I don't give a shit about
Exactly.
my
And
shoes.
I like Chuck Taylors, and I like shoes that fit and form to my feet, and they're a little longer. Like everyone has their own style, so yeah.
Makeup patently untrue. If you see the Mad Max Fury Road, if you see that movie, the makeup designer for that movie was a white woman, and she was also the costume designer was another white woman. So patently untrue. White people are not ruining makeup. A lot of white people are actually pretty good at makeup. So I'll sit that there. I'll leave that there. Put it down. If you look at any of the people who do like body paint, makeup, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm betting that there are equal proportions of good people among all races. I don't think that race has a play in it.
See, here's the thing. If this BuzzFeed article, number 5 makeup, it shows an Instagram photo of 2 white women with half their face in like chocolate makeup, like chocolate skin tone.
Right. Right.
And that's total. I bet, I'm not sure if it's out of context. I would like to see like a video of them, like, going more in depth of why they. Quote, come watch us transform into deep chocolate skin tones from our pasty pale. One, why? Okay. That we might have to give this one to him. Two,
Plus, we might be onto something. You're right. This one specifically. No.
Two, why do you have to post it to Instagram? Unless like they're Instagram and YouTube models that make makeup tutorials for a living, or they
Right.
just do it because they like to do it. I can understand. I just want to know why, I guess, because I think we might have to take the L on this one, and yeah,
we're gonna take the L on all the examples they picked because they cherry picked the shittiest moments of white people in these specific categories. Like,
correct.
like for some of them they don't. Some of them they take stupid examples in general. Like this next one, trees. White people are ruining trees because there are rich people who are putting anti-bird spikes on their trees to prevent their cars and houses from being shit on. That's a rich person thing, not a white person thing.
Yeah, if a bird wants to shit on my car, fine. Like, I'm in their territory. They're going to live their life. I'm going to go, wash it off at the car wash, and we'll move on because we live in a first world country and we can do that. Yeah, some wealthy motherfuckers are definitely destroying the white person name, and I'm not appreciative of this. And yeah, so definitely, I love trees, by the way. I'm a tree hugger, If you ever go to California, check out the sequoia trees. They're ginormous, and you can't give one a hug because they're like 30 feet wide and
Mhm.
massive. Sorry, go on.
I think it's very nice of them to say that all white people, all rich people are white. That's really a kind thing for them to say, but very untrue and very racist to say that
Mm,
black people can't be rich.
of
Uh,
course.
in any case, number seven, the United States of America. I'm not gonna dignify that one with a response. The Oscars. So Moonlight won, but they said La La Land did, and then they fixed it. I'd say that the one accountant who was awful at his job apparently is the one who deserves the blame on that, not white people in general. Um,
Yep, I agree.
I don't know. You know, it's pretty funny. The year before that, the uh, the Oscars didn't have any African American nominees, and there wasn't a huge mistake. So maybe. No, I'm kidding. Nah, I'm kidding. Of course.
Coors Light, we're not gonna get that
Yeah, we're not getting
sponsorship.
that. Oh no,
Fuck,
I think I just lost all of our other
Greg, I'm
sponsors.
sorry. I'm sorry, Greg.
But
No, I think, like, in all seriousness, though, I think, like, if I was to take Moonlight and La La Land and, like, weigh them on my hand, Moonlight wins by this much, not by much, because they're both solid films.
I say I
Um,
have not seen either, so I will not have. I don't have a dog in the race.
okay, but yeah, both are solid films. Just so you both, everyone knows that. But yeah, sorry. Let's move on.
All right, the Grammys, because in 2013 Mumford and Sons won over who was it? I don't recall.
Frank
Uh,
Ocean.
oh, Frank Ocean.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. And then Daft Punk over Kendrick Lamar, Beck over Beyonce, Taylor Swift over Kendrick, Adele over Beyonce. All right, Taylor Swift's album was one of the most successful albums in the history of the world, so I can understand that one.
yeah,
Kendrick's was better. Kendrick is better, but Taylor Swift had the most popular album. There's
yeah.
no way around that.
Correct.
Uh, Adele's album, similarly, I don't think Beyonce's album was anything special. This most recent one,
No, well, she did this one with Jay Z, right?
compared to all her other ones. Well, compared to all of her other ones, I don't think that it was an especially fantastic Beyonce album. And the Adele
Uh,
album was very very good.
I
I don't I can see where they made the decisions. The only one that I see on here is Beck over Beyonce. I don't think Beck is amazing to say the least. I think he's a good artist, obviously,
yeah,
and a good musician. His music style is just not my thing.
same. Uh, I mean, but let's be real here. How many people do
But
you talk to about Beyonce, and they never say a bad thing about it, like ever?
but that doesn't mean that she's automatically going to win.
That's what I'm saying though, because
The
like,
idea is there's a similar thing in sports where if you look at LeBron James, say,
yeah,
he doesn't win the MVP every year despite the fact that he should because of oversaturation of LeBron James. You've
correct.
seen too much of him comparing against himself. Beyonce has a similar story in these shows, but I don't know. I'd have to
Nah,
listen to both complete albums in order to dictate whether
yeah,
one is objectively better than the other. But if it's something as subjective as a music album, it's gonna be hard to do.
yeah. It's hard to be. Well, yeah.
Completely objective for a thing like music.
It's you can't be like it's so hard unless you take like a sound engineer or a sound designer that is from a totally different world and does not give a fuck about like where they came from, like how popular the music is, like, and they just strictly focus on the music itself and how it sounds and how it blends and how it's composed. Like if they did that,
Right.
maybe we'd see some difference. But if, yeah, straight up popular vote, then man,
And doesn't Beyonce have a team helping her write her songs now?
really? I don't
Yeah,
fucking know. I'm pretty
that's
sure
what I heard.
Taylor does too.
Yeah,
And
but I heard Beyonce has a team helping her write her songs. I'm not saying that that hurts her ability to be a good musician or a good artist,
yeah,
but I mean, if Adele doesn't, that would be a reason to vote for Adele. I
uh,
don't know. I don't know.
uh, no, because at the end of the day, I don't really. I that makes me judge the person, not the song
I
necessarily.
guess.
So I don't know if that necessarily has a factor of what you calls it, popular and people liking the actual song. Let's move
Mhm.
on though. We've talked about this a lot.
All right, we'll skip down. The next like 20 are just like cringy white people trying to dance. So like I'll give you that. White people can be really cringy at dancing. I'm gonna skip down to 23, Sam, just because
Okay.
the rest of them, a bunch of those are just songs.
Yeah, we
Uh,
suck at fucking dancing. Like 10 out of
some
10. I'm
some white people are very good at dancing, but a lot of white
yeah.
people really fucking suck. And they found a good amount of people. Some of them are really funny, actually. So I'll give there's some pretty cringy fucking white people out there
Okay,
as far
okay.
as dancing. But none, not to say that all black people are amazing dancers. I'm betting that there are some out there who are not the best. In any case, the mask off challenge, I actually like the bottle mask off. I don't know if you've watched it, Sam. It's actually pretty cool.
I have not.
Uh, so they play a song mask off, which is the like do 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 do. It's like a flute. You know what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
They're playing with bottles.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I am white, so I guess I don't know what cool is, but I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Any challenge, really. I think that a lot of the challenges, if you look at, say, like the cinnamon challenge, saltine challenge, a lot of good ones are white people, and a lot of, like ice bucket challenge, things like that. I feel like it's hard to be bad at. These two people are clearly bad at whatever they're doing just because they made it onto this
Hold
article.
on.
But
I gotta. Wait.
oh god, yeah,
Yeah, this is cringy. This is,
yep, they're bad. But
yes,
that does not mean all white people are bad at all challenges.
this is number 24. It kind of looks like they're just really wanting to find somewhere to take a dump. Like, that's
Yeah.
their facial expression is, yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Car freestyles, I will object to this one as well. Some of the
Same.
better car freestyles I've seen are actually white people.
Yep.
So I will not say that that it's just white people that are good, but I mean it's not all white people that are bad.
Correct. Yeah,
So,
I've seen cringy from everywhere and some awesome from everywhere. So you can't throw it on us white people, okay? God damn it. Sorry, what's going on?
26, basically hip hop. If you look at the list that Nicki Minaj posts, it's the top 10 rap songs, and all of them are white people. It's a good time to be a white rapper. I'm pretty sure said that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Machine Gun
yeah,
Kelly's
it is.
good. I like
They put
some
out
stuff of
they
Post
put
Malone. He's
ten
not
good
like,
songs.
the all-time favorite. Eminem's solid. I don't like why. I don't understand. G-Eazy is solid. Like,
Mhm.
okay. I guess, like, again, that's so fucking subjective. Like,
Right. It's music at a snapshot in time,
mm-hmm.
based off of what people listen to, and they're just good artists. And then, oh, never mind the fact that Nicki Minaj is at number 6 on that list. She's the most talented white rapper I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, along with Migos, who are clearly also white.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'll
Mm-mm.
I'll step away here.
All right, all right.
The classics. Say my name. All right. So if you actually listen to the video, Ashley Tisdale is a good singer.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Like, so I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna step
Let's
there.
just move on. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
actually good. The Fresh Prince of Bel Air goes country. That one's actually kind of bad. I'll give that one to you. I like
Yeah.
Will Smith's version way more.
Yeah, we'll take the L. Like, you can't beat Will Smith's version. Period.
No.
It's the best. You fuck it up, you're done. And they turn it into country. I'm pissed. We're moving on to 29.
29. So this person on the red carpet goes up to Pharrell because he was nominated for. I can't recall which one he was nominated for. I think he was nominated for Fences.
Yeah.
But the person said that he was nominated for Hidden Fences, which is a mix of Hidden Figures, which is one of the prominent black roles, and then Fences, and mix it together. That reporter's dumb. Not all white people make that sort of mistake.
Yeah, and no, like reporters fuck up. Like, they're human
Reporters fuck
too,
up a lot, yeah.
But yeah, correct. You can't throw it all on us.
This T-shirt, number 30, hashtag Black Girl Magic, being modeled by white people.
Okay,
That's another bad one.
That's just the fault of the company. Okay, that's the
Right,
fault
that's
of the
just-
company, not like thinking about how this could be portrayed on social media and the internet. Okay, that's not white people's fault. Well, technically it is if they were a white person, but shut up. We're not gonna talk about that.
Number 31, saying things like "Yas, Queen" and "Snatch my wig." And white people ruin black things by putting "Yas, Queen" on a hat.
And they spelled queen.
Sure.
Kween. Fuck that hat. I will never ever buy that hat. You should never buy that hat. No matter what race, ethnicity, or whatever you are. I say Yas Queen. I think
companies ruin shit more than just white people.
because they jump on the fads and then everyone buys it. Do we take the L on this one? I don't think we do.
I think that this hat takes the L, but we don't.
All right, that's fair. Yeah.
Especially if it's successful. If it's successful, I'll take the L. We will take the L if that hat was successful in marketing. Since
Correct.
it wasn't, we're not taking the L. Joints at number 32. I'm pretty sure white people have been smoking pot for just as long as black people. I'm gonna go ahead and say that joints is a moot point.
Yeah, very
Um,
mood point. Like that's so old you can't. Yeah,
let's see here. Chopped cheese. I don't know what that is.
I don't understand.
I don't know what it
The
is.
gift
So I'm
says
just
so. It's
scrolling down.
almost like eating a cheeseburger, but it's just on a sub roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna just scroll down on that
Yeah,
one. I
yeah.
got nothing for you.
Nothing there.
Number
Childhoods.
34 is a white old woman yelling at a black child who is selling candy outside of a convenience store. It appears to be like a Target. Uh,
Yeah.
and she's just yelling at him because he doesn't have a permit to sell, like he doesn't have a business license or a permit to sell candy outside the store. I mean, this person's being a little uppity,
Yeah, just a
but I don't
tad.
think that. But seeing as how she's the only person being uppity, I don't think you can blame all white people for that.
Yeah, I agree.
All
It's
right, and
fucking
then
weird.
identifying as Filipino, I think that society takes the L on that one. I think the progressive left takes the L as that one because this guy identifies as a Filipino despite the fact that he is a pasty white. Obviously,
Can you do
something
that?
else is going on there. No, he is. Sorry, my dog came up behind me and sneezed
No,
right in my
that's fine.
back. But yeah, he identifies as Filipino because he feels really himself when he's by the music and the culture and the food of Filipino people. So I think that society created that by being super duper accepting about a lot of things really, really quickly. Uh, I was gonna say, you know what? People were like, "Oh, it's not slippery slope, you bigot. Transgender is not gonna lead to anything stupider." Like, oh no, would you look at that?
People identify
Trans
as
race,
attack
is a thing.
helicopters and like Apache
Yeah,
helicopters. Like
yeah,
the world has gone too far. At
yep,
least with that shit, like it's like we got to a really good place, and then we
yeah.
took it like three or
We
four
just
steps
fucking
farther
ruined it.
off the cliff, like right there. We were right there, so close. Yeah,
God.
I think we'll take the L. I don't care. Society can take the L too.
And then identifying as black, same idea. You shouldn't be able to identify as a race, but we grew up in a society now where you can identify as anything you'd like. I think
Again,
it's just kind of
attack helicopters.
that's no, that's just an L right there as a society. I think. And the last one is googling white people ruin because
Things
it
white
replaces it
people
with black
ruin.
people ruin. Well, yeah. What do you think people are going to type when they're also typing white people ruin everything? It's just the fact that it doesn't replace it with any other race is kind of bad, and then it becomes black people destroy everything and black people ruin neighborhoods. That's pretty bad.
Again, those are just
But
those that is just Google's algorithm finding all the shit
Google's
that
keyword
people type in. That
and everyone at Google is definitely a hard right racist. So
yeah.
that's all alt right over there at ye old Google. So yeah, I understand that the point of this is probably just to piss people off
Oh,
because
for
last year
sure.
they did a pretty good job of pissing people off.
For sure. I wonder how many hits
With
this
the
has got like so far because
a
it
ton,
was posted yesterday. Oh,
almost a million.
a million views. Holy fuck. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, a
but
million.
that was our long-winded discussion on this. Sorry if it wasn't all fun and games or not all
Jesus.
funny, but I felt like it had to be done. It was
God
a
damn,
good little
dude.
moment in life.
My body hurts. But yeah, I guess I mean that's part that like I think the article was like partly jest, partly serious. It was a mix of both. It was
Yeah,
like
right.
satire and but not really satire because we're kind of there's some truth there. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't know. Well, I mean, I think social media has a big play on a lot of those things that just
Right.
trend and like become fads that are popular,
Hmm.
and then they take off, and then everyone sees it on social media, and then they adopt it. Because I feel like it would probably slow down, and maybe people wouldn't hate, or maybe people wouldn't ask like, why do white people ruin everything? If it didn't, if we
Yeah.
didn't ruin everything, I don't think we ruin everything. I don't think we do. So,
There are a lot of things that we don't ruin. I
there are
don't know.
yeah, we help a lot sometimes, but we also don't ruin
Yeah.
everything. We also don't ruin everything. So
But
yeah, we're gonna piece off a currently triggered. That was a
yeah.
I think yeah, that was a good piece to only have there because that was
Yeah.
rather long.
Yeah.
Um,
Long and A great piece of journalism in 2017. A great way to end the year.
Another thing
Definitely
that
not.
I don't think is very great is League of Legends. You'll hate me forever. I said it. I don't ever want to go back to playing League of Legends ever. But here's the reason why I probably will go back. Probably one day. I'll get bored of the games I'm playing, and League is a game that I can always go back to. Like I can pick it
Mhm.
up, and I mean, I'm not probably going to be as good as I once was, probably ever. I mean, I wasn't that good ever. Like I'll never claim to be the best at that game ever because I'm god tier terrible. Look up god tier terrible League of
Those
Legends. My face will
aren't
pop
we
up.
all?
Games of Pathos right there. Uh, but yeah, I don't want to play that game. I feel like it's a grind all the time, and I don't have as much fun with it as I used to. And I think that might be different after I take a long break. And I've already,
Hmm.
man, I haven't played that game in 1 or 2 months now, and it feels
Yeah.
fucking great. Yeah,
Yeah, I love the game. I love playing like the. I will agree with you. It's a grind. That's how I'll say it because it's really fun. It was really fun to learn and a really fun game and really easy to play a bunch of games of because I played thousands of games of League of Legends over the course of the 5 years that we played
yeah,
consistently.
correct.
Like it's a fun game to play and to pick up and to learn, but once you've gotten to a point where you're not leveling anymore, it just grinds on you. You just get super duper salty and
Yeah.
yeah, it can long term health is probably not a good probably not a fan of League of Legends. That's
Speaking of health,
yeah. So the World Health Organization classified video game addiction as a mental illness, where you can get money if you can prove that you're addicted to the point where it is affecting your well being. I think it's kind of interesting there. Uh, I'm curious. I don't believe that I'm addicted to video games the way that you'd have to be in order to get money, but that would be interesting if I was.
no.
Get some money to play video games
Yeah,
because you're addicted and it's hurting your.
I don't think I am either. It doesn't like I can understand why they decided to do that because of the people that do heavily play video games and it impacts their way of life and their ability to function in society. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's probably you don't hear about it too much in the states. I remember reading and watching documentaries about several gaming cafes like in South Korea and some other Asian countries like China and Thailand, where they would play video games for 12, 14 hours a day, work, rinse and repeat. I think that's
Mhm.
probably an exaggeration, but they played like they would go to these cafes, skip work, or like they would do whatever work they had to, and then go and do that for like the rest of their time, and just it's like they didn't have anything else that they wanted to do, and
Mhm.
that's where I separate it because I want to do other things. Like I just don't want to play video games my
Right.
whole life. I want to do other. I like video games are a huge part, but they're not the only thing.
Right.
I'd get
And I think
grinded out.
it's just interesting to see that people are you know I don't know. I'd be interested to see how that moves forward because you think you'd be able to keep it general, something like so something like addiction, just boil it all down to the same thing as opposed to making a new thing for each different addiction. It just feels a little redundant to me. But
Mm. Yeah, I see your point.
I mean, to each his own though. I understand that addiction is a real thing and can be very bad if left unchecked.
I agree.
So
I agree.
with that in mind, I think it's time for another advertiser who's never coming back. So
Okay.
this episode of ISH is brought to you by Subway. Ever since they changed the spokesperson, there have been far fewer 6 inches given to children. Use coupon code ISH at checkout to keep that trend going. I feel like Subway's never going to sponsor us now.
You know what? That's okay. I prefer
People are going to
Jimmy.
say I'm
I
years
prefer
late.
Jimmy John's. Jared.
People are going to say I'm a little bit late with that joke, but you know what? I didn't get to make that joke. I didn't have a podcast when that came out. So you know what? I'm making that joke now. I'm making my stand.
Oh,
Uh,
fucking A. Okay,
uh,
so this next segment of the show is normally when we talk about, our favorite blank segment, favorite, moment of 2017 and blah, blah, blah. This time, what we're going to try and do is every month or every 5 episodes. I can't remember which one we decided on. I don't remember. Fuck
whatever.
my life. Is our favorite and least favorite ish moments of the past month or last 5 episodes.
Whichever we decide on.
Whichever we decide on. I think I think it's a good time for us to reflect and for the people that are watching to go watch that part that we're going to talk about, because some of the shit that we do mention that are our favorite and least favorite parts are fucking hilarious in my opinion. But Logan, I'm gonna let you go first. What's your favorite? What's your favorite thing?
Let's go. Let's bounce back and forth between favorite. So I'll do my favorite, then you do your favorite. So my favorite was the Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas discussion. That whole discussion, I felt like we were laughing the whole time. You and I were bouncing ideas off each other and bouncing things. I felt like I like it a lot when we disagree and we're allowed to have a civil discussion about it. But I really love it when we agree on something and just shit on that person. That's a lot of fun too. So yeah, I think that the Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas discussion was a good showing of that.
I agree. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. There's a lot of good moments this past month. A lot of ones, and I think my favorite one was so if you guys don't ever watch this episode, I understand why. But Logan and I had an episode where we talked about pro-choice versus pro-life. And it wasn't as much a debate as it was a discussion, because none of us really, I don't think either of us walked away like we won or either of us lost. If anything, I probably lost. If it was a debate, Logan won. But it was more of a civil discussion about it. And I wrote an ad right after it. And I should have taken it out. I'm going to read it. I said, okay, so let's paint the whole picture here. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this without laughing. I'm going to try it. Logan, I'm going to please beg that you do the same. All right. Deep breaths. Okay, so paint the picture. We're talking about kids and moms. Okay, and that's very hard to talk about, pro-choice versus pro-discussion. Hi, Doge. And, whether or not a human child should be brought into the world or taken out. That's a big thing. And so it's a sensitive topic and very controversial. And I come up with the slogan, this episode of Ish is provided by your mother. Yes, that's right. She called and asked us to sponsor her. With that, she said to deliver a message to you, the viewer. She said, thanks for watching this week's episode of Ish. You're grounded, peasant. Just the fact that I brought in, I brought in the mom topic.
Brought a your mother joke.
Yeah.
During a pro-life versus pro-choice discussion. That's just beautiful.
Man,
beautiful
it's no wonder Nike or the NBA don't want us to talk about them in this podcast.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell though, he hit me up in the DMs. So look out for that. See, he doesn't give a fuck, which I appreciate. I don't like you, but please sponsor us. Whew, so that was probably my favorite moment. What's your least favorite moment?
So my least favorite moment, I was gonna say the favorite blank of the week or whatever segment, because it's it seems a little repetitive, seems like it's pretty easy or non-creative. My least favorite thing is our transition between topics. We are very, very not good at segues.
I'd say we're about 50-50, because sometimes I cue you with a sentence or vice versa.
But a lot of times
we're just 2 seconds of awkward silence and we're into the next segment.
We're doing this now. So
that's
a good one.
I agree.
Transitions.
Yes,
work on those.
I agree. That's something we can improve on.
In our 3-hour production meetings that we have every week, we're going to have to work on those transitions.
God damn, you think we would just, this show would be so... Yeah, I agree. I think it's not really a least favorite moment of the show. I just think it kind of goes back with the transition thing. I think some of our content could use some more creative spark or jazzing up. And I think it's more of a notion to say there's always room for improvement. Because I'll watch some of our episodes just if I'm doing computer stuff or whatever, and I'm like, God damn it, we could have done this differently, or we could have said this, or the transition thing. But I think that's just part of who I am, and I'm very critical of my work that I put out. So yeah, that's what I would say. This is there's always room for improvement, and I guess we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah, and especially heading into the new year, it's a good time to set some goals for ourselves
That is true. That is very true.
and be sure to improve ourselves in
Mm,
whatever ways we can.
very true.
And along with our improvement, you guys can definitely be there along the way and assisting. We do have a segment that we're going to use as our mailbag. We have a couple email addresses. So if you want to ask Sam a question, email me at pathosquestions@yahoo.com. If you have questions for me, email Sam at pathos.biz at yahoo.com. That way, you are sure that we do not get to see we don't get to screen the questions beforehand,
Hmm.
at least the ones that are being asked of us.
Correct.
Sam, did you have any questions for
No, I
your?
didn't.
I
Chat.
don't either.
I know.
So
I think there's a few people in chat. This is the time to speak up, or forever hold your peace. And
until next week, and then you'll
until
have another chance.
yeah, next week. Lord Almighty, I can't believe it's like low key, kind of high key as well. It's I can't believe 2017 is already gone.
I know, right?
Um, I think as I've gotten older, and I think you would probably agree with this too. Time flies by, and
Mm-hmm.
I just want to enjoy as much of my life as I possibly can before it's gone, just at a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I agree, dude.
I'd be
It's been so fast.
so fucking sad, dude.
Mm.
Whew.
Oh,
But
jeez.
anywho, chat's not speaking up, and I still don't have any messages from uh, the Yahoos.
Sounds good.
So let's move in
Then,
to the real ish.
yeah, it's time for skill real ish.
Ooh,
So look, I know it's cliche this time of year, but you know what? We're gonna talk about setting goals. There are a few key things to consider when setting goals for oneself, including the subject, scope, timelines, deadlines, and success metrics. If you balance those characteristics together, you can easily set yourself up for improvement. The first thing to look at when creating a goal is the subject, for obvious reasons. It's hard to stick to a goal if you haven't defined what you're trying to do. The best way to decide a good goal is to take an aspect of your life where you're struggling or succeeding that you would like to improve. Reflect for about half an hour about your favorite and least favorite aspects of yourself, along with the things you wish you knew how to do. In reality, most people already know the things they want to improve about themselves. Keep that in mind when picking your subject. Lastly, avoid the inevitable. If you're currently passing all of your classes in your last semester of school, first of all, congratulations. Secondly, your goal should not be to graduate. You know it's going to happen. If you are engaged and have a date picked out that you're getting married, your goal should not be to get married. Those aren't goals anymore, they're afterthoughts. Along with the subject of the goal, the scope is very oftentimes set right away. How much you plan to improve is a good thing to keep in your mind during the goal setting process. In order to lay out a good goal, you have to pick something that is attainable but challenging. I'll stick with an example of losing weight. Lose 1 pound, hashtag new year, new me, isn't quite going to cut it. However, losing 100 pounds is just as equally unlikely for most of us. A better goal would be to lose 15 to 30 pounds, depending on your initial weight. It's both healthy and possible if you remain focused on your goal. And as you can see in that example, you may have to do some research to create a good goal. And I know what you're thinking. Logan, I'm going to have to work toward my goals? It is truly shocking, but yes. Yes, you are. Once you have your subject picked out and you decided the scope or magnitude, it's time to pick the timeline and deadline. Along with a realistic goal, you have to get yourself a realistic deadline and benchmarks along the way to mark your progress. Don't be scared to update the scope or magnitude based off of the timeline you've given yourself. The point of a timeline is to hold accountability for yourself, and you'll be able to judge the success and failure based on check in times. Lastly, you need to set the deadline to be possible, but not a cakewalk. Push yourself to a point where it can take dedication to succeed. Then be ready to focus on the subject and little wins along the way until you ultimately reach your deadline. Each goal should have different timelines, and each goal should be different. If you want to lose a set amount of weight and read a set amount of books, you may have different benchmarks and check in days along the way for each of these goals. You may check your your weight weekly, and tally your books monthly. Keep in mind, you will have multiple goals going at the same time, so don't overhaul your short or long term. Make sure to have a nice mix of things so you can round yourself out and truly focus on improvement. This is not a sprint, it is a soccer match. Now get out there and work towards your goals. You're up, Sam.
beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
It's going to be very comparable to mine. Except I didn't. Yeah. Anywho, sorry. Get right into the ish. With anything in life, there's a natural progression towards a certain stagnation or goal. You build a relationship with a partner until you're married, or maintain a certain level of comfortability with one another that you're both happy with. If one of you isn't happy, or both parties aren't pleased, the relationship ends. The same could be said about a job or career path. You work your way up, learn new skills, network with new colleagues, and manage more responsibilities, all while growing. If you or the company isn't happy with your performance, that relationship ends too. These are two basic progressions I noticed that I focus on. What I don't focus on is my own self progression. How is my mental health? Am I continuously striving to build intellect and broaden my mental map? Another easy track progression is health and fitness. Keep a balanced diet and exercise regularly. You're bound to see results. It's not so easy to track mental growth once you get older, however. You may notice it over time, or maybe it just grows with another relationship you're working on. Here's a few things, specifically 5, I found that help me track my mental growth as a human being. Truly think before I speak. That's number 1. It's easy to get caught up in the moment of a work meeting or argument with another person, not think clearly and say what immediately comes to your mind. Deliberately controlling your emotions and responding professionally isn't easy. Hence why I notice when I notice people that get into heated debates and conversations and they don't boil over, I silently applaud them. Number 2, maintain a journal or notes of some sort. If it's not every day, maybe every week or month, reflect on what happened to you at work, personal life, etc. See how you can improve and what ways you could have thought differently. What's the harm in a little exploration of character? 3, play mentally stimulating games. For myself, I've recently gotten back into chess and Sudoku. With technology, it's so easy to just pick up when I have some downtime at work or if I'm waiting for a friend at dinner. That stuff is very easy to track progress, as Sudoku has different levels of difficulty, and there's always going to be someone better than you at chess, or anything in life. Check out lumosity.com, hashtag not sponsored, link in description, for daily games that challenge memory and other cognitive abilities to improve your brain power. Number 4, sleep. I notice when I don't get at least 6 hours of sleep. I don't function as well at work. My ability to react and adapt to problems and situations slows down, and I'm just not in a very good mood. I like being cognitively aware of what I need to do and alert. It's important to let your body rest, so give it the rest it deserves. Note, not everyone is wired the same, but I get really cranky when I don't get enough sleep over a few days. Lastly, do I care about who I am becoming and who I want to become? This question pops into my head once a week or every other week. If I do care about who or what I am doing as a civilian in society and how I'm acting as a person within my social and personal network, I will focus some of my mental attention on my behavior, compare it to what I picture myself in the future, and evaluate how I can improve. I also compare myself to role models in my field, celebrities or public figures that I admire, or just a person that I met at the grocery store 3 hours ago. If they are a good person and you admire certain characteristics they have, there's nothing wrong with aiming to mirror yourself after those characteristics. There's so much to improve on every day, even if it is just something little. Feedback is appreciated, so let me know if any of these mental growth tips worked for you. How could they be improved upon, or your own unique ways of building cognitive abilities? God, that was a mouthful. I'm done with the real ish.
How much talk about that was lovely,
Oh,
Sam. You thought
thanks, man.
mine was so much better. Yours is incredible. I'll go ahead and take that L. In any case, thank you all for listening yet again. It's been a lovely time. Have a wonderful new year, and God bless.
Peace.